Hi guys, and welcome to the Euro Car Show. Today is, well, not such a sunny day, but it's still a good day because I'm driving a brand new car from Hyundai. This is their new i30 Fastback model, which is based on the i30 hatchback. And even though it's based on that car, well, to be honest with you, it doesn't look like an i30 anymore. This Fastback is lower, slicker, with a lower roofline. It's also a bit longer, and in my opinion it looks more aggressive than the regular hatchback. We know, with all the classic more air intakes and a sportier shape overall. So yes, the design is pretty different on the exterior, but the interior is still an i30. It's really familiar. So let's first talk about technology, options, equipment, however you want to call it, and then move on to practicality. So tech-wise, you get so many features. This car is really optioned out. You have all the options you might want in a car, from a fairly sized touchscreen infotainment system with Bluetooth connectivity to anything like heated and cooled seats, or even a wireless charger for your phone. But it doesn't end here. You also get many safety features such as lane assist, adaptive cruise control, parking assist, backup camera, really all the goodies you might want. Oh, and it even has a heated steering wheel. How cool is that? The leather is really not bad, I really like it. It makes the car feel more premium, more luxurious. Obviously, this is not a luxury car, so you still have some plastic. But for the segment that this car is in, I really think Hyundai did a pretty fine job, considering the price, to which I'm getting a bit later in this video. Now, practicality wise, this car is supposed to be a 5-seater, and I'm pretty sure you can fit 5 people in the back, but they really have to be short because legroom would not be an issue. I'm 188 centimeters tall and I can pretty much fit behind myself, except, well, I can fit my legs, but there's a huge problem with my head. As I was saying, the sloping roof design does compromise headroom, and most probably a person who's taller than 180 centimeters will really struggle to sit in the back. And by struggle, I mean it's pretty much impossible. But where this car really shines is all the extra space you get in the trunk. It does offer quite a bit more cargo space than the hatchback. Now let's move on to the specs. This particular model comes with a 1.4 turbo petrol engine. It's making 140 horsepower and 242 Newton meters of torque. It is front-wheel drive and coupled to a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission. And that's honestly more than enough, considering this is a pretty small and light car. If that really interests you, it will do 100 kilometers per hour in around 9 seconds, and it will go above 200 kilometers per hour if you really push it. Lastly, fuel economy. Well, in my own experience, the average fuel consumption of this car is somewhere around 7 liters per 100 kilometers. That means you can get anywhere from 5.5 to 6.5 liters per 100 kilometers when you drive on the highway, and around 8 to 9 in town, depending on the traffic, the terrain, and so on and so on. As usual, I want to specify that I don't drive the car in the most economical conditions. I sometimes accelerate, I sometimes, have some fun with the car. So this is my average consumption. And before moving on to the usual, where I tell you how this car feels, how my experience was behind the wheel of this car, and so on and so on, I want to talk about prices and options. And even though this car was designed and intended for a younger public, which is supposed to buy the car because, well, they like it, not because it's just an affordable car, this car starts at 22,000 euros, brand new. And as it stands right now, with all the options, the 18-inch wheels, everything I mentioned before and so much more, this car will only set you back about 30,000 euros here in Belgium, which in my opinion is a great deal for the amount of technology and luxury features you're getting. Now let's move on to the very subjective part of this review. Let's start with the good points, and believe me, there are many. I'll only mention a few, the ones that impressed me the most. And first and foremost is the fact that this car is an amazing daily driver. It's fuel efficient, it's very smooth, it drives great, it's comfortable, or at least fairly comfortable. You'll understand why I say that in a minute. It has a bunch of options which make life so much easier and every daily commute more comfortable and well, frankly pleasant. Second of all, I think is the fact that this car is surprisingly well balanced. I mean, if you want to drive it rough, it will stick to the road. I'm not saying it's super powerful, but it has enough power to move itself. But the sportier way in which the car was set up really makes me think that there's an N coming. Because we know the hatchback, we know how popular and how great the car is. So that would be really awesome if Hyundai brought the N performance model on this Fastback, because it looks so much better than the hatchback, I'm sorry. So yes, it's great to drive, it's pretty sporty, it's well set up, it's practical. So what else could I want from a car? Well, As I was saying, the really negative part is the fact that you can't really fit taller people in the back. That's really an issue with this car. You do get some plastic, but honestly, I can live with that. But the only thing that really pissed me off, and I know it's terrible, and I know it doesn't really make sense, but hear me out. The gearbox is awesome if you want to drive it as a daily driver and, you know, just move around on the city and on the highway and stuff like that. But once you want to drive it in a sportier manner, I just think the gearbox has kind of a mind of its own. Like, it's not shifting when I want it to shift, especially if you're in manual. Sometimes, I'm not saying it's laggy, it's just weird. Like, sometimes it shifts super quickly when you're in sport, and it downshifts well and so on. And sometimes it just doesn't. And that's, in my opinion, the only weird quirk of this car. I really don't understand the gearbox. It's probably more of a management computer situation than the actual gearbox, because otherwise it's really a great gearbox. And I really wouldn't trade it for a manual in this car. I'm not saying the manual would be bad, because I've driven manual Hyundais, such as the Kona, for example, and honestly the gearbox was pretty cool. I'm just saying that in this particular case, 7 speeds is better than 6 speeds. So in conclusion, I really think the i30 Fastback is a great pick for anyone looking for a car in this segment. It's a very good daily, and I'm pretty sure it can be turned into a very fun weekend car with some minor modifications. It also looks great, and it really won't cost you that much to register or to insure it, or even to buy it. So I really think this car is probably one of the greatest deals on the market right now. All that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video at least as much as I enjoyed making it. And if you guys did, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Leave a comment if you have any question, or if you just want to say hello, then well, do it. And if you want to support us, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, because well, for you it's free, and for us it would mean the world. So thank you guys for watching, and thank you to Hyundai Belgium for giving me the opportunity to drive this car. I'm Gabriel, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.